First of all, welcome everyone. I am Amy Stanton. I'm the Director of Brand Engagement and Cause here at For Moms. Just want to thank everyone for joining us this evening for the premiere of our second episode of For Moms Sleepversity with Wendy Nguyen. So thank you, Wendy, for being here. For those of you who are new here, I just wanted to give a little bit of background about Sleepversity. So at For Moms, we're honored to be a part of over 1 million new parents and their babies' earliest months with products like our Mama Rose Sleep Bassinet, our Mama Rose Swing, and many, many more. But with Sleepversity, we decided to partner with a group of amazing influencers and created something that dives deeper into newborn sleep to help parents understand that their baby's developments, they can learn more skills and see other real parents in action to show just how diverse sleep is for each and every baby. So I think we all know no baby sleep journey is the same, but something we often hear from parents is that they feel guilty or that they're doing something wrong if they're not following this or that sleep method exactly. So that's why we created Sleepversity, to give parents a resource that shows that many different approaches to newborn sleep and to help them feel more supportive, informed, and empowered. So it's something that you can turn to anytime you need someone to relate to. So I think we're going to get a lot of that today. So with that, I am thrilled to introduce to you our host, Carolynne Harvey, certified pediatric sleep expert, founder of Dream Baby Sleep, and the quarterback of Team Sleepversity. Welcome, Carolynne.
Hey, Amy. Thank you so much for having me. I am excited to be a part of this campaign, as you well know, and share more about the complexity of newborn sleep and to really help new parents truly enjoy those early months of their babies' lives. First, I wanted to welcome our next parent featured on Sleepversity, the wonderful Wendy Nguyen.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I need this so badly. So as you know, on stories and Instagram, I've been, battling with sleep and having a really hard time. Today, I'm wearing these glasses to hide my bags. So I don't want you to see it yet, but it's been a little tough. But I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy for later for a Q&A and just, it's really an honor to be a part of this.
Yeah, awesome, Wendy. That's a great point. Everybody stay tuned till the end for the Q&A, okay? And Wendy is going to be sharing more about Kinsley, who is almost 4 months old, but we can't wait for you to see the episode. Thanks so much, Wendy. I'm really excited to get started, but first, just a few minor housekeeping items. If you have any sleep questions or questions about Wendy's baby sleep journey with Kinsley, please type them in the Q&A box in the Zoom control panel. We'll be answering your questions live towards the end of tonight's event. But just make sure you ask your sleep questions or your parenting related questions for Wendy in the Q&A box, not the chat, okay? So we also want to thank our amazing companies who contributed to Parents Night In. This is the epic swag bag. We have Matrisense Skincare, Ergo Pouch Swaddle, Dottle and Company pacifiers, and Hip Peas snacks. These swag bags are no joke. So, for those of you who didn't receive a swag bag, the first 50 received them, and they were mailed out this morning, so they're on their way to the first 50. They just got sent out. However, if you weren't one of the first 50, I have great news for you. You can enter to win not only the swag bag, but also a Mama Rose Sleep Bassinet. You heard me right. You can enter right now by clicking on the link in the chat. Okay, not the Q&A. The link is in the chat, and you can enter to win the swag bag plus a Mama Rose Sleep Bassinet. I saw all those expecting mommies in the chat tuning in early, so I'm super excited for you guys. Good luck. Make sure you click there and enter to win. So, without further ado, we are pleased to present Season 1, Episode 2 of Sleepversity with Wendy Nguyen. welcome to For Moms Sleepversity. I'm your host, Carolynne Harvey, certified pediatric sleep expert and founder of Dream Baby Sleep. Today, we're sitting down with Wendy Nguyen, who welcomed her beautiful daughter, Kinsley, on March 23rd. She's going to share her journey as a first-time mother, how she's thinking about safe sleep, figuring out naps, and more. Welcome, Wendy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you talk us through your journey to having Kinsley?
Oh, yes. It took us honestly a while. We were dealing with infertility issues for actually a few years, and we saw a specialist. And one of the things that they advised me, and one of the things I knew that I had to work on too, was just to lower my stress level. And I think that was why we couldn't even get pregnant to begin with. But we took about 6 months to reorganize our lives, really, put the stress in the back burner, meaning doing everything we can to give the best environment. And she came a month before IVF. So we're just so grateful. And we're just so lucky, honestly, to have her with us.
Yeah, congratulations. That's so awesome. So everybody wants to know, how is Kinsley sleeping? And also, how are you sleeping?
I think she's sleeping very well. She certainly enjoys her sleep, but we are surviving. We're not thriving yet. I think, the biggest challenge for us is just that long stretch at night that right now the long stretch is around 3 hours. So we're hoping that she can get a longer stretch so we can be more well rested.
I hear so often from parents that they're concerned that their baby is not getting that long stretch. 3 to 4 hours is totally normal. So you're doing really great there. How are you making out understanding her sleepy cues? Have you found your rhythm there yet?
It took us a while, to be quite honest with you. When she was a newborn, we honestly was just shooting the dark. Every cry sounded the same to me. So we were trying to figure out if she was hungry, if her diaper was wet, or if she was sleepy. And it didn't really click until maybe when she was about 8 or 9 weeks, when it was very visible, when her eyebrows got redder, when she was kind of looking away, when she was kind of yawning. We knew that it was time to, put her on her nap, and we established a nighttime routine for her bedtime sleeping schedule.
What was your biggest challenge as it related to Kinsley's sleep?
Because the most healthiest and longest stretch of her sleep is at nighttime. And I think the nighttime, my postpartum anxiety was just through the roof. I couldn't sleep at night very well. I think the insomnia didn't help either. But it's just always being afraid that, am I doing anything wrong? Am I setting her up for the right foundation for sleep? And to be quite honest with you, it was just constantly on my mind. I was looking at the monitor, even though I was in the same room with her, I was still looking at my monitor and looking at her at the same time. I would come over very often to check on her breathing. I would look at her chest. I would put my hand where her nose was. So it was just a constant, honestly, just battle. It gets easier a little bit here and there, but it's just something that I'm still working through right now.
Yeah, I mean, Wendy, so many parents feel that way, and it is so common. I'm so glad that you're elevating this conversation. I also suffered from postpartum depression and anxiety, and honestly, your instincts are spot on, because safety is and should be all of our top priority. So at Dream Baby Sleep, I follow the AAP, and they advise that you always want your baby sleeping in a designated safe sleeping space, which you have with your mama bassinet. You want to keep it firm, flat, and fitted. That means a firm sleeping surface, flat sleeping surface, and a fitted sheet only. And ultimately, you always want to place your baby down on her back to sleep and keep it bare. No bumpers, no comforters, or stuffed animals in your bassinet. And honestly, I really love the mesh sides of the Mama Sleep bassinet.
No, same. And we actually stopped swaddling her after she showed more movement. She didn't like her arms being swaddled. And when we saw that, we have her in a sleep sack now. And we're so happy with the mesh because she moves her arms quite often. So a lot of times I'll see it bump against the mesh. And because of that, she'll lift herself kind of forward and up. So sometimes her face is also against the mesh too. So knowing that she's safe, knowing that she can still sleep, and honestly gives me the ability to sleep at night.
Yeah, a lot more comfort, right?
Yes, absolutely. So as a new mom, Carolynne, I'm always questioning my decisions, and I want to make sure that she's set up in the best environment possible for her nighttime sleep. So I do have a question about naps. How often should I be having them? Is it okay that she's on me all the time? And if she's on me all the time, would that hinder her from sleeping on her own at nighttime? Because she loves contact naps, and I honestly love contact naps.
Yeah, that's such a great question, Wendy. So contact napping is totally fine. She's super, super little. So I always say all bets are off 0 to 16 weeks old. We can rock, bounce, shush, hold, feed, nurse to sleep, right? So with contact napping, you want to make sure, of course, which I know you know, that you are awake and not falling asleep for safety reasons. But also that contact napping during the daytime is actually helping her because it's affording her tummy time and you don't even realize it. So when they're on your chest, it's a great way, especially when they first come home from the hospital and they need a lot of extra support, to offer tummy time on your chest or while contact napping. Because what it's going to do, it's going to help strengthen their neck and shoulder muscles, which is going to naturally help them have more strength in their body, which is going to help prevent SIDS, which I know was something that is so top of mind for you. So when we strengthen those muscles with tummy time, it's really going to not only help that, but it's also going to help them fine tune their motor skills, like rolling, which I know Kinsley is starting to do. So that tummy time you want to offer 3 times a day, and it should be 1 minute for each week of your baby's age. So for example, for everybody who's watching, if you have a 6-week-old, you want to be offering tummy time 3 times a day for 6 minutes each session.
Oh, wow. And so with contact napping, and I'm so happy that you're saying that's a good thing, because I love it and I think she loves it too. And it's just the most precious feelings. So I want to hold on to that for as long as possible. When do you think we should transition from that? I mean, is there really a time to transition, or can I do it forever?
Yeah, I love that you asked that question, Wendy, because I was going to gently encourage you when you're ready for you to try for nap 1 in the bassinet, okay? So nap 1 is the easiest nap to catch. So anytime we're making a transition, it's always best to do it at nap 1. So I want you to start practicing nap 1 in her bassinet, okay? Reason being is that nap 1 is actually a continuation of night sleep. So that sleep pressure headed into nap 1 is a lot stronger, which is what makes it easier for her to catch that nap without being held. So definitely start there, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Wendy, so much for sharing your story. I really think that there are so many moms like you and I who have suffered from postpartum anxiety. And the more we talk about it, the more we can normalize it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I think, you know, a lot of new moms too, at least for me, I had the impression that postpartum anxiety happened right away. And it doesn't. You know, it can happen a few months later. I have girlfriends who didn't hit them until a year later. So I think just giving, you know, I mean, I say this out loud, but I don't take my own kind of advice. I totally understand. It's harder when you're going through it, but just give yourself some grace and just, you know, kind of embark on the journey, fully aware that potentially it might happen. But, you know, for us during the day, I love it. I love spending every moment with her. And even though she's asleep, I miss her. So I think it's just, you know, it's just setting slowly, knowing that, you know, the hormonal imbalances are correcting itself, and, you know, having safe sleep advice from you, and knowing that we're doing the right things for her, just makes us feel so much better.
Yeah, I love what you said. Give yourself grace. You are doing such a great job with Kinsley, Wendy. Keep trusting your gut. As a reminder, you can continue to follow Wendy's journey on Instagram at Wendy's Lookbook. And don't forget to follow at 4moms_HQ on Instagram for more Sleepversity updates and episode announcements. Sleep well.
Yay. I loved it. Wendy, what did you think? I know this is the first time you're seeing it. All those memories, right? Flashing back. I could see your facial expression. Amazing.
No, it was, honestly, I felt like the last time we talked, it was like eons ago, because as I was sharing in the video that she was sleeping stretches of 3 hours, now she's only doing an hour, and if I'm lucky, 2 hours. So please help. I know that I want to kind of jump right into the Q&A, because I want your answers to be, your questions to be answered too, but it's been really tough to transition from that 3 to 1 hour now. And I know that it might be bordering the whole 4-month sleep regression, but please help.
Yes, help is on the way. Help is on the way, Wendy. That 4-month sleep regression is unfortunately upon you, but the good news is it's a developmental leap tied to rolling, and we are going to answer those questions, your question included, Wendy. I just want to quickly remind everybody to make sure you enter the Parents Night In giveaway in the chat, plus the chance to win a Mamaru sleep bassinet. So do that on the link in the chat if you have not already done so. And please enter your baby sleep questions or your questions for Wendy and her sleep journey with Kinsley, or about her story at all. Please ask those questions in the Q&A. Before we get to your question on the 4-month sleep regression, Wendy, we are going to do some quick trivia to give away a couple more prizes, and then we're going to take everybody's questions live, so stay tuned. Amy?
Yes, we will make this quick because I know the Q&A is the most important part, but we're also giving some very lucky people, 4 winners, we just like the number 4 here, $50 credit to 4moms.com. So we have 4 questions. If you answer correctly, we're going to randomly pick a winner, and we will email you tomorrow with your gift. So the first question, how often does Carolynne recommend doing tummy time with your newborn baby? Twice a day for 20 minutes, increments each, in between each feeding session and nap, 3 times a day, 1 minute for each week of your baby's age, as much as he or she can tolerate. Guys, I think you were all paying attention.
Everybody, they were quick too, Amy.
All right, I'm going to give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll end that one. Yes, you are all right. 3 times a day, 1 minute for each week of your baby's age.
Awesome.
All righty, the next question. Which of the following is not an AAP safe sleep guideline? Having a designated safe sleep space for your baby, firm and flat sleep surface and fitted sheet only, keeping your baby up all night long and having a dance party, place baby on her back to sleep, or keep sleeping space completely bare. This was a softball one. I feel like everyone is there with us. All right.
Everyone's tired. We got to throw a softball every now and then.
I know. 3, 2, 1. Yes, keep your baby up all night long and have a dance party is not recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics. All righty, on to question 3. What is the meaning behind baby Kinsley's name? Bravery and victory, moon goddess, filled heart, life, light, shining one. This one's a little trickier.
All of them. So
all of them, basically.
I don't know. I really like moon goddess.
That's great. No, I like that one too.
All right. We'll give it 5, 4, 3.
I'll help you. It's the first one. It's the first one. I'll help you.
Yay.
It's the first one. Yes. All right, guys. Last question. Which of the following is not one of the unique rocking motions featured on the Mamaru sleep bassinet? Car ride, yoga ball bounce, wave, kangaroo, tree swing, or rockabye?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I know it, but it's a tough one.
All right.
I know that too. That's a tough one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end it. It is the yoga ball bounce. That is a great motion, and we will bring that back to our engineers, but that is not currently a motion that we have. So thank you everyone for participating. And now we will get right into the Q&A. So
Let's do
Carolynne,
it.
the question you want to start with?
I would love to start with Wendy's question. And I think your question was, what the heck do I do when the 4-month sleep regression hits me? And or how do I know it's upon me, right, Wendy?
Yes. And then I have a follow-up question, which is,
Great.
does callically having her eat during the day, does that impact her night's sleep?
Yeah. So that's an amazing question. So for everybody that's watching, Kinsley is almost 4 months old, and signs you know the 4-month sleep regression is upon you is whatever your current norm is. That might be 2 to 3 hour stretches at night. That might be 6 to 8 hour stretches at night if you're one of the very, very lucky, fortunate ones. Whatever your norm is, let's say it's 2 to 3 hours of stretches at night. If now suddenly they're only doing 2 hours or even 1 to 2, that's a new change of a regression at nighttime. That's an indicator the regression is upon you. If you're experiencing newfound early rising or even earlier rising than you previously were experiencing, that's an indicator. If you were experiencing where like nap 1 was always rock solid for you, you could always count on that, and now it's like hit or miss, and your other naps during the day were 20 to 45 minutes, and now they're 15 to 30 minutes if you're lucky. Or if you're very fortunate and your baby's sleeping, 90 minutes to 2 hours, and now suddenly they're only sleeping 45 to 60 minutes, that means the regression is upon you, right? So base it off of where you are. So that's how you know it's upon you. The great news is that it's a developmental leap tied to rolling. So pro tip, you want to do what I call boot camp tummy time. Tummy time, tummy time, tummy time. Because tummy time is strengthening all these head and neck and shoulder muscles, okay? And that's the motion that they need, this strength in here, to roll over. So I want you, Wendy, to get down on her level. I know you're doing tummy time 3 times a day. At this age, at 4 months old, you want to be doing tummy time 3 times a day for ultimately about 10 to 15 minutes each session, right? I want a minimum of 30 minutes for the entire day, okay? So do at least 3 sessions, 10 to 15 minutes each, and really get down on her level. Use a fun toy that she likes over her head to get her to look, and then roll. Even though she accidentally rolls at first, and you can help her find that position and gently help her roll over, it just creates a comfort level. The crib, the bassinet, their designated safe sleeping space is their safe place. So they practice these physical leaps and milestones in the crib. They're thinking about practicing, they're wanting to do it, and therefore it's disrupting sleep. So hang in there, okay? So what was your follow-up question to that, Wendy? Oh, calories, right?
Yes. Is that important? And I think a lot of expecting moms and moms with newborns too, is there a connection between how much they eat during the day and how much they eat right before they sleep and the duration of possible longer stretches of sleep?
Yes. So there is a connection to how much they're feeding during the day and how much is relative to your baby. So you want to speak to your pediatrician with any feeding questions that you have as far as how many ounces or duration of your breastfeeding session, right? So some babies may take a 3-ounce bottle, other babies may drain a 7-ounce bottle. There's a range for a reason. So talk to your pediatrician and make sure you're in the range that they want you to be in. However, on average, at about 4 months old, we want to be consuming, give or take, between 26 and 32 ounces of formula or breast milk a day, okay? So again, speak to your pediatrician about that. If you're feeding every 2 to 3 hours during the day at this age, I recommend assuming no medical diagnoses, assuming not on any prescription medications and cleared with your pediatrician, we really want to work to stretch her feeds longer apart. So if they're 2 to 3 hours, we want them 3 to 3.5 hours apart. Then we want them 3.5 to 4 hours apart. And the reason we want them further apart is so that when we offer that feed, we can increase the quantity, right? So we ultimately want to be getting in that really 6 to 8 ounces, which is a lot right now at this age. It's a lot. So for you, I had a tiny baby, right? She was taking 2 ounces at this age, okay? So it's relative to where you are. Don't think of the 6 to 8 number, because I know that's way too much for you guys. But what I want you to do is start stretching your feeds by 30 minutes. So whatever you're doing right now, if you're feeding every 3 hours right now, effective tomorrow, I want you feeding every 3.5 hours. And if she's taking 3 ounces, I want you to increase it to 3.5 ounces, okay? So we're slowly stretching the time, because we want those feeds to be more purposeful, right? Versus snacking throughout the day. Yeah.
And night snacks, because at nighttime she'll tend to snack too.
Yeah, snacking during the day and night. So they're having little meals versus, let's say, 4 really purposeful meals during the day will help stretch. It'll help set you up for success headed into the night, right? Because you should have that longest stretch of sleep from bedtime, let's call it 7:30 p.m., to, in a perfect world, which I know this would be a dream for you, if you put Kinsley down at 7 p.m. for easy math and she slept till midnight, you'd be beside yourself, right?
Oh my gosh, that'd be a dream. No, that's not happening. So yeah.
Okay, and it's okay that it's not happening for you right now. She's little, you have a clean slate, right? 0 to 4 months, all bets are off. We rock, bounce, shush, hold, feed, nurse, contact nap, assuming you're not asleep, which I know you know that. All bets are off, right? We want to do everything humanly possible to foster sleep 0 to 4 months old. So now she's not even 4 months old yet. You have a little bit of time left, right? So you have a clean slate. You have not developed any bad habits. Right where you are is right where you should be. We're gonna ramp up that tummy time. We're gonna start thinking about her feeds where we can stretch them by 15 to 30 minutes from what they are right now, slowly. And as you stretch the time between feeds, I want you to increase the quantity in her bottle, right? Okay, fantastic. You're not alone there, Wendy, trust me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into the Q&A. That's where I'm going to be answering questions. You guys can ask questions anonymously as well. Don't worry, this is a Inside Circle safe space. So if you want to ask them anonymously, don't hesitate, okay? All right, first up, we have Lisa, our waterproof liners. Okay, I'm guessing you mean a waterproof mattress pad. Okay, so yes, they are. You want to make sure that they are, let's see, free of vinyl, BPA free, phthalate free. I'm missing something. Lead free. I mean, that's pretty obvious. There's one more. BPA, phthalate, lead. It'll come to me. But most of them are. They're regulated. So yes. I always love, pro tip, to double layer my crib, right? So Wendy, I don't know if you do this, but I know you guys just made the huge transition into the crib, into Kinsley's nursery, which is so exciting. I used to use a waterproof mattress pad, then a sheet, then a waterproof mattress pad, then a sheet. So this way, if I had like a blowout incident, right, it still leaks into the waterproof mattress pad. In the middle of the night, I could just scoop up the first layer and I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's a great question. Okay. Next up, I have a question for you too, Wendy. But I'm going to take one more question here in the chat. Sally, my dog currently sleeps in a crate in the bedroom as me and my husband, and I want to have the bassinet beside me. Should I move my dog out of the room? So I understand that your dog is in a crate. I don't know if you guys can see my dog, but she's on the floor here. I'm definitely an animal lover. However, the answer is no. Your dog should not sleep in your bedroom with the baby. There's a lot of reasons for that. I understand that your dog is crated. I don't know if the door is shut or not, but it is recommended with newborns that your animals sleep outside of the room with the door closed. Great question, Sally. Definitely check with your pediatrician if you have any more follow-up on that. Okay. Oh, Wendy, I wanted to ask you a question. So, big news in your house. I think it's been a couple of days since you moved Kinsley into her crib, transitioned her from her Mama Sleep bassinet, which I know is cringeworthy sometimes. People are like, oh gosh, new sleep environment, what's gonna happen? How is it going?
So her bassinet was actually next to her crib.
Yeah.
When I filmed the reels, I had to move it because her room is just very dark. Yeah, and it was very difficult for me to actually even film. But in reality, her bassinet is right next to her crib. We knew that we needed to move her because she was rolling so much that she was diagonal to the bassinet now.
And she was pushing up. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And also pushing up and out. But we moved her, and I think, I can't tell because, now she's sleeping last, and I think
know.
the right thing. But it was honest for us, it was just giving her more space. Because I think if she could fit in the bassinet, we would have left her in the bassinet.
It was such a smart move though, Wendy, because honestly, when you think about it logically, this girl is ready to roll, right? She's already, turning her shoulders when you're doing your tummy time. So she's going to have that freedom and that space to explore in her crib, which will become her happy place and her safe place. And she will sleep beautifully in there. Give it time. You're right there. You're doing great. You're doing great. Okay. Let's take another question. Danielle and David, our daughter wakes herself up by moving her arms around, often hits herself in the face. However, we feel like we can't swaddle her because she will roll herself over. 9 weeks. Yeah. So spot on, Danielle and David. Once baby is showing signs of rolling, you definitely want to stop swaddling. Your instincts are spot on. So at 9 weeks old, depending on her weight, there are some transition swaddle products out there that you can try. Just check the manufacturer's label because some of them require a minimum of 12 pounds. And at 9 weeks, I'm not sure how big your baby is. I had a 4-pound, 9-ounce baby, so full term. And so when people say, yeah, right, I make tiny babies. Well, I made one tiny baby, that is. But when people say, they had an 8-pound or a 9, like this 9-week-old could be 12 pounds. I don't know. Mine wasn't. So you can try those different products. Make sure you're doing your tummy time. At this age, you want to be doing it 3 times a day for 9 minutes each session. That's really going to help strengthen the neck, the shoulders, and the core. It's going to help you sail through the 4-month sleep regression as well, Danielle and David. And just try a couple different things and see how that works out for you. Okay, let's see. Lizette, I have an 14-month-old. When is it safe to give the baby a blanket at night? We are going to prolong it. Don't. I have a funny story for this. So safely 2 years and older. However, they make toddler sleep sacks up to 5T for a reason, my friends. I want my friends at 4Moms to look into the sleep sack space because I would love a 4Mom sleep sack. But my daughter was 18 months old. And she had a little teeny, like Aiden and Anas, I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, blankie that she could not get like exactly right. I kept her in a sleep sack until I think it was a 5T for a long time. They can't get them right. Okay, so anything that could disrupt or derail your night sleep, you don't want your toddler waking up in the middle of the night going, Mama, blankie, Mama, tuck it, Mama, help, right? My daughter couldn't say her T's, so she would wake up and say, Mama, tuck it, but the T was an F. So don't use a blanket is the moral of the story. Because I was on vacation with my sister and she was saying tuck it. I think she was over 2 at that point. She was saying tuck it all night. And my sister was like, we were in a family suite. She was like, for the love of God, get rid of that baby's blanket. So anyway, 2 years and older for safety, but I'm a huge fan of those toddler sleep sacks. Okay, next up, Wendy, you were swaddling and then transition to a sleep sack. You've been in a sleep sack for a while. I remember we talked about that.
Yeah. Exact same timeline almost. Like she did not like her arms being swaddled.
Yep.
She was flinging it up and she was uncomfortable. So we actually did that. And honestly, the transition was actually quite okay. It was
She wanted those arms free, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next up, my baby is 1 month old on Friday. We are mostly contact napping. Wendy is too. That's great. We want to foster sleep as much as possible. 0 to 4 months, all bets are off. I have a toddler to take care of course, right? That makes things quite tricky. When I try to put the baby down in the bassinet, she either wakes up immediately or within 10 minutes. How can I help her sleep more in the bassinet so I have my arms to play with my toddler? Yeah, we get this so often. So I want you to start with nap 1 in the bassinet. Nap 1 is the easiest nap to catch. I hope you have the Mama Roo Sleep Bassinet, because when you place your baby down, I want you to place baby down fanny first. Okay, so I always need like a baby doll to do this demonstration. Don't tip baby in, right? We don't want to create that head rush reaction. So always place baby down fanny first. Let her fanny touch the bassinet first, then her head. Assuming that she's not rolling or trying to roll, I would have that baby swaddled at 1 month old, and I would use continuous white noise. I would cross my fingers that I had the Mama Roo Sleep Bassinet, and I would put that baby on like kangaroo speed 4, and I would start with nap 1. The reason we start with nap 1 is because nap 1 is the easiest nap to catch. So when you're experimenting with placing baby down, transitioning from contact napping, always start with nap 1. There's more sleep pressure headed into nap 1. So great question. Yeah. And Wendy, I know you're still contact napping, and it's a great way to foster that bond and that connection. And sometimes it's the only way we can get our babies to sleep.
It's tough. I tried nap 1 because after the episode that I had with you, I tried nap 1 and she's just not having it. She would prefer being on me. So now, honestly, she's back on me right now.
Yep. And that's okay. That's totally okay. She's still little and contact napping is great. Always making sure that, of course, you're not tired. If you're tired, place her down for safety reasons. But ultimately, I want to encourage everybody to keep trying to put them down, because what they don't like one week, the next week they do, right? So keep at it, keep trying. Even if you only place them down and she stays asleep for 5 to 10 minutes, that's 5 to 10 more minutes in the bassinet or crib that you had today that you did not have yesterday. That is a victory. So keep at it, okay? All right, let's see. Tamara, what in the world do you do when the sleep training methods don't work? Or at what point in the night are they just literally rejecting sleep? Do you just say, screw it, and rock the baby to sleep? Well, Tamara, I don't have to tell you, but you could hire a baby sleep expert for one. But with that said, you're not alone, okay? First and foremost, we are not sleep training prior to 16 weeks from our estimated due date. That's the absolute earliest that we would even consider sleep training. With that said, 5 months old. 5 months old is my absolute favorite age to sleep train because it comes together so quick. I talk about this all the time. I wish I had a research grant to study it. I love sleep training at 5 months old. So If I had another baby, I personally would wait until baby was 5 months old to start sleep training. I have clients who have me on schedule, have my team as certified pediatric sleep consultants that work with me on schedule before they deliver 16 weeks from their estimated due date. They're like, we're starting sleep training. We do it all the time and it works great. However, I personally love 5 months. With that said, what the heck do you do? Consistency is key. When everything falls to pieces, I like to tell everybody, I want you to get back to basics. I know it feels like a hot mess, but I want you to focus on the simple things. I want you to focus on a brief bedtime routine. I see a lot of these 45 minutes, 60-minute long bedtime routines. I land the plane. I want it 15 to 20 minutes tops after bath, okay? Short and sweet. I want you to focus on age-appropriate bedtime. Number one tool in your toolbox. If you guys don't remember anything else that we talked about, this is it. Number one tool in your toolbox is age-appropriate bedtime, age-appropriate bedtime, age-appropriate bedtime. I cannot say it enough. I get a lot of flack for it. Bedtime should never, once your baby's over 4 months old, because we're talking about sleep training land here, bedtime should never be later than 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. You can DM me at Dream Baby Sleep for our bedtime by age chart. Actually, we have it here on the For Moms blog. I believe we have a bedtime blog we can post for you guys. Age appropriate bedtime is critical. So get back to basics, simplify your bedtime routine. When in doubt, go earlier rather than later. Make sure you're using an age appropriate bedtime and try to stop, watch, and wait. Right? Just because the baby's crying does not mean that she's awake. Babies can cry out upwards of 4 to 6 minutes and not actually be awake. Okay, so we run in there and pick them up and we wake them up. So stop, watch, and wait. Okay, let's see. We have time for more questions, yes?
That was awesome. Thank you so much. 5 months, 7:30 and 4 to 6 minutes. Don't interrupt them. And
correct. Because think about it, you roll over, babies have very active sleep, Wendy. So they can cry out, literally hysterically cry. They can even open their eyes and they're not actually awake. And then we tend to panic. I know I did. I'm like, oh God, I've got to get in there. If I can get in there and hedge it and get in front of it, hopefully it won't be like an hour-long battle, 2-hour-long battle, rocking, burping, feeding, changing to get her back to sleep. We're so eager to avoid that we tend to wake them. So I like to practice something called the purposeful pause. And we don't have time to go into it now here, but it's something that I teach. It's inside the For Moms newborn sleep class, which you get for free with the purchase of your Mamaru sleep bassinet at formoms.com. So definitely check out the newborn sleep class. For anybody that's doesn't have a Mamaru sleep bassinet, you can purchase it at formoms.com. The purposeful pause is clutch. It's a step before sleep training, but it teaches you that stop, watch, and wait and what to do, what actionable steps you can take in between. So, okay, let's see. Next, I love these questions. Is that well, right? Do you have so many of these same questions, Wendy?
No, I'm learning so much. This is my favorite part. I really it is.
Good. I try to like whistle through them, so feel free to interrupt me. Okay, anonymous. I love anonymous. Baby's 8 weeks old and doesn't nap well. That's normal. Normal naps at this age are between 20 minutes and 2 hours. So if your baby's napping 20 minutes, you have a normal napper. And I know people are like, oh, I thought that meant it was an awful nap. At this age, that is age appropriate, okay? Doesn't nap well, really difficult. Staying within the wake time guidelines. Can you provide some tips on napping? Yeah, so at 8 weeks, I'm dyslexic, so I have to write it down. 0 to 4, 45 to 60, 4 to 8, 60 to 75. Okay, so at 8 weeks old, you really want to stay tuned into your wake windows. It's a range for a reason. If your baby is having a harder time staying awake, you can err on the earlier side of the range. So 0 to 4, 4 to 8 weeks is 60 to 75 minutes. So you want to be offering nap every 60 minutes from the last time your baby woke up. I want you to use continuous white noise. It emulates the womb. It's very comforting. It's soothing. It calms the brain, and it helps drown out background noise, okay? I want you to swaddle if your baby's not currently trying to roll. If you have the Mama Rose sleep bassinet, try different settings on the motion and sound combinations, and make sure that your awake time is purposeful. Okay, that's where your tummy time comes into play. So it's kind of like activity, exercise. If you or I just kind of laid around all day, granted they're babies, so they lay around all day, but if we just laid around all day and literally did nothing, tummy time is kind of like going to the gym for a baby. So make sure that your awake time is purposeful and you are utilizing that awake time for your tummy time. 3 times a day at 8 weeks old should be 8 minutes per session. Okay, so that'll take up a good chunk of that 60-minute awake window. Great question. Just for everybody else, let's see, we'll do the awake windows while I have it here. Okay, 0 to 4 weeks old, you want to be offering nap every 45 to 60 minutes from the last time your baby woke up, whether they took a 20-minute nap or a 2-hour nap. 4 to 8 weeks, 60 to 75 minutes. 8 to 12 weeks, 75 to 90 minutes. 12 to 16 weeks, 90 to 120 minutes, okay? So that's your range. That's your range. And that's also taught in the 4 Moms Newborn Sleep class, so definitely check that out. Okay, let's see. Anonymous. How important is putting baby down and letting themselves fall asleep on their own, no bottle or rocking? I nursed my baby to sleep for a really, really long time, okay? I nursed her until she was 18 months old, through the night until she was, I think, 16 months old. So right where you are is right where you're supposed to be. So don't go off of somebody else's like, oh, 6 months old, we don't rock or feed to sleep, right? So look at where you are and then work backwards from that. So if you are putting your baby down, rocking your baby to sleep, instead of rocking your baby completely asleep, let's say it takes you 15 minutes. I want you to rock for 13 minutes next time. And then 11 minutes. I do things in increments of 2, right? Until you're having a 5 to 8 minute rocking session, which I think is beautiful for your baby and your bonding time, right? But you're just not rocking them to sleep. Like I get a lot of flack. People are like, you're telling me I can't rock my baby? That's crazy. Of course you can rock your baby, just don't rock them to sleep and or move away from slowly and gently rocking them to sleep. But 0 to 4 weeks old, rock those babies, friends. Rock them to sleep, rock them straight to sleep, okay? So great question. How are we doing on time, Amy?
So I think we have time for maybe 2 more questions. So we want to kind of go through to see if there's anything that we haven't touched upon yet.
That jumps out. I have a question for you, Wendy. Are you a big rocker, yoga ball bouncer? What's your thing?
No yoga ball bouncing. I actually never did that through my pregnancy either. A huge rocker. We rock bottle. We did everything that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
We do it all to get her to sleep. So
you are supposed to rock your baby.
It's just like, every time I read it and I'm like, oh, put your baby down awake. And I'm like, I did that. And again, we're not consistent. So I have to try that. But she's just not falling asleep. So I come right back and we do it. And, I feel like at the end, they're going to grow and they're going to get older. And I think we're not going to remember any of this time. So I might as well just have the best, but still try to get myself at least more sleep if possible.
Yeah. And you're still in the no rules, just right phase, right? 0 to 4 months, rock, bounce, shush, walk, hold, feed, whatever to sleep. So we want to start trying to move away from that slowly at a pace that we're comfortable with when we're ready. If you're not ready at 4 months and you want to wait till 6 months, and that's what's meaningful for you and your baby's sleep journey, that you need to trust your gut. Nobody knows your baby better than you. So you're not doing anything wrong. Okay, so let's see. What is a question that maybe D had a question. Is it okay to keep white noise on all night? Yes, it is. So from a safety standpoint, the white noise, whether it's built into your Mama Rose sleep bassinet or you're using additional white noise, as long as you can have an adult conversation with another person in the same room as the baby without raising your voice, your white noise is not too loud, okay? So you're not at any risk of it being too loud. So just make sure you can have an adult conversation without raising your voice.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's see. Last question. It's so stressful because there's so many. We love you guys. Thank you for posting the questions. If you didn't get your question answered, feel free to head on over to @DreamBabySleep. I'm happy to answer questions. Go ahead to the For Moms post that's about this episode. Ask your questions there, and we'll do our best to answer you guys. Last question. Do you want to pick it, Wendy? I'm stressed. I'm so nervous.
I know. I'm looking at this too as well.
Yeah.
Most are,
We got a lot of them. A lot of them are similar, right? Because we all have, our babies are so different, but yet our struggles are so similar.
yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to go through anyone that's really super fast that you can answer.
A lot of nap questions.
Yeah. I mean, at what age do you stop contact napping?
By what age?
Yeah, by what age?
So we want to start moving away from contact napping between 4 and 6 months old. That's my personal recommendation. So if you're not ready at 4 months and it seems like mind-blowing to you, that is totally fine. Wait until 5 months, wait until 6 months. But I always recommend that we start to try for nap 1 to move away from it for that first nap. So you don't have to just stop doing it altogether, right? I'm talking about one nap of 4 to 6 naps they're taking a day, right? That I want you to slowly start moving away from, okay? So go at a pace that you're comfortable with. Right where you are is right where you should be. If you need resources, make sure you check out the 4moms.com blog. We have some epic sleep resources over there. And last minute, can they still enter the giveaway, Amy, or we're done?
Yeah, no, the giveaway is going to be live for a couple of days. So feel free to enter and pass it along to your friends.
Swag bag plus a Mama Rose sleep bassinet? Like what? That's huge. Yeah, I'm going to be sharing that for sure. So make sure you guys enter. Wendy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so helpful. And 5 months, I'm going to contact you. We're going to get through this.
You're doing great, Wendy.
Great.
You're doing a great job.
So much.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank both of you for being here. And I also want to thank everyone who joined us tonight and spent some time with us. Hopefully you learned as much as I did. And make sure to follow at 4moms_HQ for more future episode updates of Sleepversity. We have 3 more episodes coming up, so stay tuned for that. And if you tuned in late or there was some information that you didn't write down, we're going to post both the episode as well as this webinar to the 4Moms YouTube channel. So check in there and we'll see you next time. And as Carolynne loves to say, sleep well.
Love it. Bye, guys. Thank you.